Hello everyone. Phoenix X1 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends shenanigans for the day, right? So we are in the Karl Johan, right? The campaign ship from last year or so, what have you, right? So this is a fun ship, right? You get some pretty long range, decent secondary batteries, and then you get these kind of, I don't know, Germanish guns, right? So the main guns are, they are what they are. Like accuracy is, to be desired, right? And then you do get you do get quite a bit of torpedoes, right? Two launchers on each side that go. I think we're at a 10-kilometer range or something with these torpedoes, so it's pretty nice, right? So it's a good ship for doing a sort of a semi-brawling, right? I do feel like you don't have a gigantor health pool, right? We are at tier 8, we're at 72,000, right? So it's not, yeah, you're like anybody else, right? If you go into the zone ahead of your teammates, right, you're gonna get picked on, right? So you want to kind of, be a little bit, play smarter, not harder, kind of thing, right? But yeah, we'll see what spawns out here. I'll send some some test torpedoes right through the zone just in case something pushes in, and then we'll continue to move around the outside here. But yeah, ideally you get kind of within that like mid-range, engagement, which is where you're going to be most successful, right? Or even ships pushing into you, right? Because with this, you can kind of kite away, let your secondaries do their work, and then send torpedoes back behind you, right? That like works really well as well, right? But we'll fight for this zone as best we can here and see what happens here. We did get the destroyer from that, on our team that spawned mid, came out here to see, which, like, I kind of lean in towards that too, right? With this map, as a destroyer, like, people, and I've done it and I've gotten like hate mail, right? I've gotten the message like, why'd you abandon the middle, right? I'm like, well, I'm the only destroyer, and if I go out on a flank, I can help spot for my team, right? Versus if I go into this is the map with the like worst of all worst B holes, right? Bravo Cap is surrounded by islands, and then there's a circular island right smack dab in the middle for the hole, right? But anyway. So like I get the mentality, like play your flank, but and then it does allow the Reds to pick up the B cap, right? So now they've got a zone, right? So they're gonna surpass us on points here, right, as time ticks on. But this guy, he's capping C, which nobody else on my flank's willing to do at the moment, right? There's just too much firepower coming from the other side, right? Coming from the Reds at the moment. So he's at least keeping people spotted for our teammates over here. We've got a couple of cruisers that are typically going to try and stay behind cover or in smoke, right? So it's fine. So we'll work with what we got. We do get a somewhat early kill over on the A flank, right? They took out one of the enemy cruisers, so that's always good. So they may end up being strong side over there, which would be nice. That way we can wait for them to cap, and then they'll come over here and help, but we've got a good number of ships over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's 5 of us here, right? So 6 of us. We count our destroyer that ditched his side, right? So we're not in a position to be able to get hits on anything. I did consider going around, but I'm like it's just gonna take too much time, right? So I swung back in, and we'll push up into the zone a little bit here, which could be a little bit risky, but I want to use the tools that my ship has, right? So at least we don't do it right off the bat, right? But we'll try and be a little bit more aggressive here. An anchorage would be good to pick on. It looks like some of their ships are kind of backing off a little bit, right? Like both that Kronstadt and that Soyuz was, right? Like they were up further, right? So we've got them sort of on the run. So I'm going to take the risk and see if we can push up. I am a little bit curious as to where their destroyer is. I'm going to guess he probably helped cap Bravo, right? I'm going to guess he tried to help cap B. So he's potentially coming into this area as well. And then we do get spotted here before we fired our guns. So it's a good bet that their destroyer's in here. But we're actually a pretty good ship for that, right? Like we've got good secondaries. We've got sonar with this ship, right? So it's not a bad idea for us to try and help with the destroyer. Ours has, I'm not sure why our destroyer has completely left the zone now. I would have stayed in the zone, but right. So the Michelangelo gets within range of our secondary, so we will trigger the booster. And then this is where I was like, this might have been a little bit too aggressive, right? But we've got some health, right? We can take a little bit of fire. And so, but we are definitely going to need to already start planning our exit strategy. And then we do pick up the Lucian here, right? So he is within our sonar range, so he's going to remain spotted even with his smoke. When we get a torpedo hit, I think that was on the Michelangelo off to our right. We're just kind of letting the secondaries work him. And we know Michelangelo's got torpedoes as well. So I'm turning away from all of these guys that we're looking at, and then Michelangelo's potentially sending torpedoes this direction also. So we'll just continue to turn and circle through here, right? A little bit of an aggressive move, but it was actually probably a good push that our team needed. I think we do it just the right amount, right? Like like this porridge is just the right temperature, right? So we start moving away, right? If we were to just keep plowing forward there, we definitely would have gotten focus fired a lot more, and we'd be dead, right? So we needed an exit strategy as we did that, right? But there's a kind of an example where an aggressive move occasionally works, right? I don't always recommend that, but sometimes you can get away with it. We took a little bit of a beating there. We at least got their destroyer spotted. We'll focus on him when he's spotted, right? Try and help with him. Be awesome to get their destroyer off the board while we still have ours. Like, that'd be huge. And then, yeah, we've got, we're up to 70 secondary battery hits now, so we're doing good there. We've kind of made some of their ships back off even more here. Kronstadt's way back in the backfield now at this point, right? So we may be able to circle back into the zone and finally get a zone capture for our team here. So we'll give this a whirl. It's going to be a little bit of time before we have a sonar charge, so that destroyer out there is kind of going to be our biggest threat for the time being here. But we'll see if we can fire our guns and get away with it. Yep, so we don't even get spotted there when we fire at the Kronstadt, so destroyer must be behind one of those islands up there. Get a solid ricochet there, did 0 damage. Alright, now we're spotted again, right? So destroyer's got eyes on us, so just keep that in mind. We'll make sure not to stay on a consistent path here. And then, yep, the Soyuz, see what he does, keep an eye on him. If he comes around, we'll have a good shot with both torpedoes and AP shells, because he's angled pretty good for us here. But keep in mind, we are spotted, so he knows we're out here. If he's smart, he's paying attention to the minimap. I was like a little reluctant to trigger the secondary booster here. And then I do it, and then of course then he dies, right? So, but I was like, oh man, he's either not going to last long or he's going to go into his smoke, right? And so I like held off on triggering it, and I should have just tripped it right away, right? But yeah, we're kind of evening the count on ships now, but now as you can see, we are significantly behind on points just because they've had that B cap for so long, and then we did lose our destroyer, right? So there's the argument of like fight for your zone, right? But I don't know, there was at least 3 ships that went into the B cap like right off the bat there on the enemy team. So, and then if you know, my teammates didn't go in, like there's a cruiser and a battleship, right? They didn't go into support either. So I mean, he might have, you know, we might have lost our destroyer even earlier if he went and tried to muscle it out in the B hole. So he probably made the right move. But yeah, of course he's gone now. We do get the zone capture with a little bit of help from the cruiser that's back off behind us. And then this Kronstadt is sitting here going, take me, right? He was too low on health to matter anymore. And then we'll focus on this Soyuz. He's going to get surrounded as we kind of push up in front, and then the cruiser is pushing around the back of this island. So we'll see which way he decides to go, who he would like to kill him. And then, yeah, between the heal that we did, we're back up to almost half health here, so we're doing pretty good on health now. We got 90,000 damage, couple of torpedo hits, good amount of secondaries, 2 kills, the zone cap. We're doing decent, right? We're getting work done. So I'll start turning away from him. I can see that he just fired at the cruiser, so I don't have to worry about him shooting at us, so it's okay that we're broadside. Oh, he fired at somebody else. I thought he was looking the other complete opposite direction here, but we'll take a couple of AP shots at the bow, and we do get some penetrations there and do a good chunk of damage. That puts us up to 100,000. And then the 3 torpedo hits tops us off there and gets the assist somehow, right? We didn't even get the kill. Just I think everybody on this flank had shot him all at once, so he went down super quick. But yeah, I was like, all right, we're going to get this one. Nope, got that jack from us. So we will push into Zone B here. Again, we are still behind on points just because they've had zones for longer than us now at this point, right? So we'll push through and see if we can't help with the 3 remaining battleships here. And obviously get the cap. So if you notice, like if you look at the mini map, right, we've got 1 battleship left over on the A flank, and he's doing a great job of just trying to kite away into the wall. Right, like that works pretty good most of the time. Like if you're up against that wall, it kind of throws people's aim off. And so, yeah, it's working out right. He's distracted, or at least those 2 battleships that are up by him, right? He's at least distracted them and gets a kill there, right? So he at least distracted them long enough that now that we ended up being the strong side of the map, we're able to push through and come over there and start helping him out. Right, this Brandenburg's either sitting still or I don't know if that's quite where the spawn point is. We'll have to see here. See if we can finish off this Veneto. It's like our teammates are going to get the kill for the credit for that one. Let's see if this Brandenburg's either, if he's not moving, this is going to be a quick end of the game here.
Attention, reporting a target position.
Yeah, I came out wide here specifically so that, like, well, 1, we'd have a different angle on the Veneto that was still in the A cap, but then 2, we'll get a better shot at this Brandenburg. Oh no, he is backing up. At least now he is. It's not quite the strategy you want to play with Brandenburg, but yeah, I didn't realize how quickly he was moving backwards, right? And so I did not lead him enough, and we totally whiffed that shot there. We'll get around this corner here and see maybe we can jack the kill. And then we'll go through we'll take a look at the leaderboard once this game's over here, if we can snab this one. And then we'll take a look at the leaderboard, and then nope. And then I'll show you the how I have the commander set up for this ship as well. So victory is sorry. So Snow Maiden is just a commander, guys. That is not the actual commander. I'll show you who we're actually using. Surprisingly, we got 3rd place there. Had a couple of other really good players on the team, so that broke that 3,000 XP barrier. So good for them. Then we do come out on top with 130,000 in silver. Do have our premium bonus and our fleet bonus, right? But yeah, so almost full on secondary battery build with this, right? So secondary battery mod, propulsion mod in slot 2, concealment for slot 3, and secondary battery reload for slot 4. You kind of got to think with the concealment mod, right? You get some dispersion as well there. But yeah, we were using the free-to-play guy, the Janko guy. And then Franz von Hipper is your must-have for, so right, he's a free-to-play guy, right? He's your must-have for any secondary build inspiration, right? And then we are using Haruna, which we just got somewhat recently. Now we're part of the Cool Kids Club, right? So, but yes, we're using his Reckless Gunman for main battery reload time. That does take away some torp acquisition range, but we do get sonar with this ship, so there's it's not a bad trade-off. And then Porcupine for the secondaries, I went with on second thought for the reload. I wouldn't blame you if you pick the, firefighter one though. And then Properly Meticulous is my go-to, right? I love how much your survivability of your secondaries is a lot better, right? But you could pick Master Mechanic for the extra heal. And then I usually will to rebuild, but Fight Fire with Fire or Running with Scissors for the legendary perks. Those are good choices for brawler builds as well, but I typically lean towards will to rebuild, but you do you on that one. I know a lot of others prefer Fight Fire with Fire, so yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching my video all the way through, guys. I really do appreciate it. And please do subscribe to the channel. I'm kind of a smaller channel still, so I do kind of notice when a couple new people subscribe, and appreciate that. We do Legends videos almost every day, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.